Your bank is literally praying that you never find out about this one specific setting because it's the only thing standing between them and the interest they're stealing from your pocket every single day. Most people are working 40 hours a week just to watch their balance evaporate into thin air. But there is a hidden mechanism, a digital loophole that actually forces wealth to accumulate in your account without you ever lifting a single finger. I'm talking about a strategy so powerful that it's been suppressed by major financial institutions for decades because it turns the average worker into a silent millionaire. But listen closely, because the most shocking part of this entire system isn't how it works. It's the devastating reason why 99% of people are intentionally blocked from accessing it until they reach a certain age, which I'll reveal later in this video.
Welcome to Fiscal Awakening, where we tear down the curtain on the lies the financial system has told you since the day you opened your first savings account. You've been told that saving money is a matter of willpower, discipline, and sacrifice. But I'm here to tell you that's a total lie designed to keep you broke and desperate. If you're tired of checking your banking app only to see a number that never seems to move, you need to understand that the game is rigged against your human psychology. We are wired to spend what we see. But what if I told you there's a way to make your money invisible to your impulses while it multiplies in the dark? We're going to dive deep into the mechanics of high-velocity automated wealth building that requires zero effort once it's triggered, changing your entire financial destiny.
Think about the last time you tried to save a few $100s by cutting back on coffee or skipping a night out with friends. It felt like a chore, didn't it? That's because your brain views saving as a loss of immediate pleasure, triggering a stress response that eventually leads to a massive spending binge. This is exactly what the consumer economy wants, because a disciplined saver is a nightmare for corporate profits and credit card companies thriving on your debt. When you rely on your own memory to transfer money into a savings account, you are setting yourself up for total failure, because life always finds a way to get in the middle. Whether it's an unexpected bill, a shiny new gadget, or just a bad day at work, your willpower is a finite resource that will eventually run out, leaving your future self completely stranded. You have to understand that your brain is basically a prehistoric computer trying to survive in a high-tech consumerist jungle that wants to bleed you dry. Every single advertisement, every one-click purchase button, and every targeted social media post is a high-level psychological attack on your savings account. By automating your money, you are essentially building a bulletproof digital fortress that protects your future from your own worst impulses. This isn't just about being organized. It's about acknowledging that you are human and prone to making emotional decisions when you're tired or stressed. When the money is moved before you even see it in your main balance, your brain naturally adjusts its spending habits to the remaining amount without feeling any sense of deprivation. It is the ultimate life hack because it uses your own natural laziness to actually make you richer. The first step to activating this wealth-building machine is the direct deposit split, a tool that most employers offer but almost nobody utilizes correctly. Instead of having your entire paycheck land in your checking account, where it's vulnerable to your debit card, you must instruct your payroll department to send a fixed percentage directly to a separate high-yield account. This happens at the source, meaning the money never even touches your primary bank, so you never have the chance to miss it. It's like a tax that you pay to your future self, and because it happens before you see the total, you bypass the psychological pain of losing that money. Most people wait until the end of the month to see what's left over to save, but the secret is that there is never anything left over unless you take it first. Now, let's talk about the engine that makes this entire system move at light speed, which is the High Yield Savings Account, or HYSA. If you are keeping your savings in a traditional big-name bank, you are essentially letting them rob you of your purchasing power through inflation because their interest rates are pathetic. You need to move your automated transfers into an institution that offers at least 10 to 20 times the national average interest rate. These accounts are often found at online-only banks that don't have the massive overhead of physical branches, allowing them to pass those savings directly to you. By combining an automated transfer with a high-yield environment, you create a compounding effect that works 24 hours a day. It is the difference between your money sitting in a dusty vault and your money being out in the world working a second job for you. But we aren't stopping there,
Because the true masters of money use micro-automation to catch the crumbs that everyone else ignores. Have you ever heard of roundup features that take the spare change from every transaction and sweep it into an investment or savings bucket? Every time you buy a gallon of milk or a pack of gum, the bank rounds that purchase up to the nearest dollar and moves the difference into your secret stash. While a few cents might seem insignificant, when you multiply that by thousands of transactions over a year, you are looking at hundreds of dollars of found money that appeared out of thin air. It's the easiest way to start investing because it scales with your lifestyle. The more you spend, the more you accidentally save. This creates a psychological safety net that grows even when you aren't paying any attention. The real magic happens when you implement the 1% rule of automated escalation, which is a trick that billionaire investors use to scale their wealth exponentially. Most people set an automated transfer and then forget about it for 5 years, but inflation and lifestyle creep will eventually eat those gains alive. Instead, you must set your automation to increase by just 1% every 6 months, or every time you receive even a tiny raise at work. Because the increase is so small, your daily life remains completely unaffected, but the long-term impact on your net worth is absolutely staggering. It's like turning up the heat on a stove so slowly that the water doesn't realize it's starting to boil. You are essentially training your financial muscles to carry a heavier load without ever feeling the strain of the extra weight. There is also a sweep account secret that many wealthy individuals use to ensure their checking account never becomes a stagnant pool of wasted potential. You can set a maximum threshold for your checking account, and any dollar that exceeds that amount is automatically swept into your brokerage or high-yield account. This prevents the lifestyle creep that happens when you see a large balance and feel the urge to go on a shopping spree. It keeps you broke on paper, while your actual wealth is skyrocketing in accounts that are much harder to access on a whim. By creating this artificial scarcity in your daily life, you force yourself to be more creative and disciplined with your spending, while your automated systems are busy building an empire in the background. This is how you win the game. Let's talk about the friction factor, which is the secret weapon of the automated saver and the mortal enemy of the impulsive spender. Banks spend billions of dollars making it as easy as possible for you to spend your money with things like facial recognition and one-tap mobile payments. To counter this, you must purposefully create friction between yourself and your automated savings accounts. This means not having the mobile app for your savings account on your phone and not carrying the physical debit card for that account in your wallet. If you want to touch that money, you should have to log in on a computer and wait 3 days for a transfer to clear. This cooling off period is often all it takes to realize that the emergency purchase you wanted was actually just a temporary emotional craving. Another massive pillar of this strategy involves the hidden benefits provided by your employer that act as automated wealth generators on steroids. If your company offers a 401k match and you aren't contributing at least enough to get that full match, you are literally throwing away free money and lighting your future on fire. This is the only place in the world where you can get an immediate 100% return on your investment before the market even moves an inch. Furthermore, utilizing a health savings account, or HSA, allows you to automate savings that are triple tax advantaged, meaning the government can't touch a single penny of your growth. When you layer these workplace automations on top of your personal bank transfers, you create an unstoppable force of nature that can weather any financial storm. You might be thinking that you don't earn enough to start this process, but that is exactly the mindset that keeps people trapped in the cycle of poverty. The beauty of automation is that it doesn't care if you start with $5 or $5,000. It only cares about the consistency of the execution. Even if you can only afford to automate the price of one fast food meal a week, the psychological shift of becoming a saver instead of a spender will change your entire identity. Once you see that small balance start to grow, your brain will crave more of that feeling, and you will naturally find ways to increase the automation. It's a positive feedback loop that replaces the destructive spending habits that have been holding you back for years. Start small, but start right now. Digital bucketing is another advanced technique that allows you to automate your entire life's goals into separate, untouchable categories.
Instead of one giant pile of money, you can have automated streams flowing into a house fund, an emergency fund, and a freedom fund simultaneously. This gives every dollar a specific job and prevents you from borrowing from your future house to pay for a vacation today. Many modern banking platforms allow you to create these subaccounts with a single click, making it easier than ever to visualize your progress towards multiple goals. When you see your Freedom Fund hitting milestones automatically, the excitement and high energy you feel will be more addictive than any retail therapy could ever hope to be. This is what true financial control looks and feels like in the modern world.
We also need to address the windfall automation, which is how you handle unexpected money, like tax refunds, bonuses, or gifts from relatives. Most people see a $1,000 tax refund and immediately think about what they can buy. But a master of automation has already predetermined that 70% of any windfall goes straight into the wealth machine. By making this decision before the money even arrives, you remove the emotional tug-of-war that happens when the cash is actually in your hand. You can even use tools like IFTTT, or If This Then That, to create custom automation rules for your digital life. For example, you can set a rule that every time your favorite sports team wins, $5 is moved to your savings, turning your entertainment into an investment in your own future success. The reason the big banks don't want you to master these automated flows is that they rely on your float, the money sitting idle in your checking account, to fund their own high-interest loans to other people. By automating your savings into accounts they can't easily touch, you are essentially taking away their free lunch and putting that compounding power back into your own hands. They want you to be a passive consumer who forgets to move money, not an active architect of your own wealth who uses technology to bypass their fees. The disturbing truth I mentioned earlier is that many banks actually have internal software designed to nudge you towards spending rather than saving, which is why taking control of your own automation is an act of financial rebellion. It is time to stop being a pawn in their game. The secret reason that 99% of people are blocked from this level of wealth is that the education system is designed to produce workers, not owners. And owners are the only ones who understand the power of automated systems. They want you to believe that wealth is complicated and reserved for the elite. But the truth is that it's just a series of simple, automated decisions made early and often. If you don't take control of your digital infrastructure, the system will continue to automate your poverty through subscription services and easy credit. You are currently living in a world of automated outflows, and if you don't counter that with automated inflows, you will never be truly free. The glitch in the system is that the tools for freedom are available to everyone, but almost nobody has the courage to use them. Now that you possess the keys to the kingdom, the only thing left for you to do is execute these steps before the impulse to procrastinate takes over your mind again. Start by setting up that split direct deposit today, even if it is only for $20, because the habit of automation is far more important than the initial amount you contribute. You are now part of a small, elite group of individuals who understand that wealth is not about how much you earn, but how much you can keep without thinking about it. If you are ready to stop being a victim of the system and start your journey toward true financial sovereignty, then you need to join the 1% who know the truth. Hit that subscribe button right now if you want to survive the coming changes and master the machine of wealth.